Hey educators, it's Dr. Mitchell on BERC Basics for All Educators, and today we're learning about ways to maximize student collaboration and communication in the classroom through a strategy called Process the Pic or Process the Picture. So one of the simplest ways to supercharge student learning is through pictures. Not just showing students a picture, but actually having students process the image with their learning partner or their peer, really using the power of neuroscience. So our brains are actually wired to process visuals 6,000 times. Yeah, 6,000 times faster than text. So we know this, and we often say here at the BERC group, vision trumps all other senses. So when students engage with a picture, with an image, their brain actually jumps into what's called symbolic reasoning, which is connecting the picture to like prior knowledge, emotions, and concepts that they're learning. And when we have them talk about the image with a partner, they're engaging in elaborative rehearsal, which means they're actively strengthening memory and understanding. So, when students are processing a picture with their peers, again, they're doing two things that help them develop conceptual understanding because they are jumping into symbolic reasoning and they are also using elaborative rehearsal. So having students process is picture with their peers is a really dynamic instructional strategy. So let's break it down a little bit more. First, how do we have students process the picture with their peer? We first can show a powerful image. So I'd say choose a picture with a story to tell. So whether it's a historical event, maybe it's a science diagram, maybe it's a math visual. It really should make students wonder, maybe question, maybe bridge a connection. This image could be on the board. It could be in a textbook. It could be a visual that you hold up and show them. So next, after you show the students the visual or prompt them to look at the visual, you're going to give them a prompt. We're not just going to say, hey, look at this picture. We're going to instead give them something to think about, a critical thinking question, a higher order thinking questions like, what do you notice? Or what do you wonder? How does this connect to what we have been learning about? If you were inside this picture, what would you hear? What would you see? What would you feel? I love that question because it also ignites our senses and through multisensory learning. So first, you show the image. Second, you ask a higher order thinking prompt around the image. And then finally, you have to explicitly direct students to process that picture. You direct them to turn and talk to process their ideas out loud using elaborative rehearsal so that they can strengthen those neural pathways in their brain. Because as we know, when students explain their thinking, their brain works harder to make connections and store information from the short-term memory into the long-term memory. So, one, show the picture, give a higher order thinking question or prompt around the picture, and then have them turn and talk to a learning partner or turn and talk to their learning team about the picture. So, when you have students process the picture, it also can be really fun to play some background music to set the energy and cue students when it's time to start talking, and to also even stop talking once you turn the music off. Okay, so here's your cue. Every time you have a picture in your classroom, you show a diagram, it's in the textbook, or it can go with the lesson. You initiate students to turn and talk. That is the process the picture talk trigger.